And after their convincing win at Newlands and Cape Town midweek, the South African side takes a 2-1 lead into the Game 4 of the one-day series against Australia as our cameras go to the Kingsmead in Durban for Game 4. The changes to the sides, well, the South Africans have left out Louis Kern, brought in opening batsman Adam Bakker. 2 changes to the Australian side, remembering that Mark Waugh is injured. Once again, Mark Taylor has been left out of the side. Adam Gilchrist comes in as a middle-order batsman, and Queenslander Andy Bickle finally gets a run at the place of the ill Paul Rifle. Well, the commentators waiting for the first part of the match at Kingsmead are David Hooks and Carl Rackerman. Ian Healy won the toss, had no hesitation in opting to bat.
On the stumps and whipped away. Very strong on square of the wicket on both sides, and that's the first boundary for the Australian innings. Full and on leg stump, and Divenuto just whipped it away behind square leg. The man at square leg is in front of the umpire. Blewett yet to get off the mark. And cop that. If you want to get off the mark, get a half volley from a medium pacer and whack it through the covers. Because he can hit you like that. Through the covers again. And that is another 4. So 2 boundaries to get Greg Blewett off the mark. And man up again inside the circle. You can't bowl leg stump when you do that, and you're going to pay the ultimate penalty. And another boundary to Greg Blewett. 3 boundaries. And he goes to 13 from just 12 deliveries. It took him 8 balls to get off the mark. Once again, dare we say it, the fine leg is up, and the fine leg just walks to the fence to pick the ball out of the gutter. Blewett will tuck it away to the man at square leg. He'll look for 2, but won't get it. In fact, a bit of a mix-up now. Divenuto's got in stride. He's out. Well, Greg Blewett and Michael Divenuto got themselves so tangled up. It was a mistake of monumental proportions. Both players started to amble through for the first run, and then coming in at 100 miles an hour, Crooks from the square leg on the fence. Blewett turned around, decided to call for the run, then stop, and no problems there for Dave Richardson. A throw that sees Divenuto 1.5 metres out. So the Australians, after blistering the attack from a bowling point of view, did all the work.
They are a short mid-wicket and a short cover.
And inside edge. It has seen him dismissed a few times in the last couple of seasons. That gap between gloves and pad that we spoke about earlier was quite exaggerated on that occasion.
There's no pace, no bounce. Roundsman Phil Russell would have struggled to get as much rolling in as he would have liked because of the rain. And this is Jonty Rhodes pouncing.
And there we see the hesitation again. Had that been the West Indies, Pakistan, England, anybody else, the Australians would have got a 1. But with Jonty Rhodes,
caught straight to that short mid-wicket, and Stuart Law is out, and Australia have lost their 2nd wicket, and it looked quite a soft sort of dismissal.
yes, not a very good shot by Stuart Law. Looking to advance down the wicket, he does get very much in line with the off stump, and we'll see here walking across and down, not really getting on top of it, looking to play much squarer than that, and it just lobbed it very, very gently to Jacques Kallis.
So Pollock's wicket, and Stuart Law, the man out. After a good 50 and a 33 to start the series, now out for a duck, and Australia 40 for 2. Michael Bevan with the pads on. Brilliant. Herschel Gibbs this time.
Really no pace to work with as a batsman, and you get frustrated because you can't get the ball away, and with such a good fielding side, even more difficult.
Jonty Rhodes up in a flash, has a go at the bowler's end, and Steve Waugh was watching carefully.
And again, the hesitation against any other side the Australians would have had no hesitation in going for the single. In fact, I think there probably was one there in the end, and this is just what this man Rhodes does to you.
Oh, right over the top of the stumps.
Well, this is a great delivery from Jacques Cullis. He's got it on middle and off, and it's just gone away a little bit. Just held its own, and Stephen Waugh again late, very similar to the dismissal in Cape Moore. We can see the one from Rudy Bryson just hitting the top of off, that one going over the top of off.
Steve Waugh struggling really to get the ball off the square at the moment. And he's out. Caught about by some very good bowling. Good line and length. They frustrated the Australians so far. And Stephen Waugh moving inside, trying to go over the infield and out. Great breakthrough.
So there's the dismissal of Steve Waugh. As Terry said, he was frustrated by the length the South Africans bowled to him. They realised the dismissal the other night in Cape Town. They've got to bowl fuller than normal. They bowled very well when he first came to the crease. And Steve Waugh is now on his way. Caught Crooks, bowled Donald for 1. And Australia 48 for 3.
It's on the outlook for runs. The more strike he can give Bevan, the more chance there is for him to settle into the innings. Now the 50s come up, and the 50s come up a lot slower. They were in 18.1 overs. They would have been expecting that to be there around about the 12th over at the latest. That's what he's been in it. He's run out. Unbelievable. Australia on a death wish.
Well, Jonty Rhodes, you just can't keep him out of the game. He really has been outstanding in the field so far in this match. On that occasion, Michael Bevan was... And Jonty Rhodes covered the ground very quickly indeed. Bevan took off. Rhodes picked it up. At just about a single stump to shy at, and we'll have a look at it. Bevan's pretty keen to get off. I don't know why he's going to run from that, because Jonty Rhodes is so quick to get off the ground and pick it up again. Almost one stump to shy at. Direct hit, and Bevan is on his way. So that really is a big blow for Australia. Bevan was hardly in the picture. South Africa have now brought themselves to the fielding levels they're at tonight.
Beautiful stroke. That is a quality stroke from Greg Blewett. He's waited a long time for a half volley from Alan Donald, and he didn't waste it. Oh, a bad bounce there. And that's the sort of thing that Gilchrist can do. You can see the power that was hit with. It wasn't Cronje's fault. He got down to the ball, and then it bounced alarmingly at his head.
And a good time for a bowler to be coming back. The side on top. Blewett now will have to run well between wickets to get 2 here. He scampers through for 2. He's a very fast runner, and in the end just jogs quite comfortably for the last 4 or 5 metres. Jacques Cullis doing the fielding at third man. And he can't bowl there to Gilchrist. He's a very good player, square of the wicket on both sides. A very good puller, a very good hooker. Gilchrist doing it very well.
Round the wicket, Adam.
4. So Blewett striking that beautifully. Herschel Gibbs had no chance. And just smashed it past the covers to bring up his half-century. So Blewett goes to 53 from just 71 balls. His captain applauds. The Australian flag flies. And he has hit this very hard.
Greg Blewett, but he's looked terrific. But he's batted with a little bit more respect for the bowlers, played the balls on their merits today, but has had enough bad balls to score quite freely.
Leg side as a man at mid-wicket on the fence, and Crooks, and he's there. So straight down the throat of Derek Crooks. He didn't quite get it as straight as he would have liked, Greg Blewett. The shot was certainly on. He tried to hit it over wide mid-on, but the ball just angling into him. He got more of the inside edge of the bat, hit it a long way, but Crooks just ran past, and it was like picking pears off a tree.
Well, not what you'd call a good delivery. It was going down the leg side, and Greg blew it, helping it on its way, and hit it quite well, but just not well enough. It's a very simple catch for Crooks in the finish. But just when Australia's innings was getting underway again, another wicket falls. So Greg blew it for 53. Australia are now 5 for 83.
Cronje to Gilchrist. And he squeezes it between the two men. They like they're standing each other in a game of football, those two men. They are so close, and yet just able to sneak it through. It'll even bring a wry smile, I would imagine, to the bowler, because perfect delivery. The shot is what he wanted to play, and look at this.
Well, that's a good camera angle. I wonder they didn't knock heads there.
And that is one of his favourite shots, Gilchrist. Didn't quite time it as he would have liked. It's a long chase here for Bryson, and he just gets to it. So a good piece of fielding. They'll look for 4, but he did pretty well. Gilly again in the air, but there's a man there who won't get it. In fact, 4 runs. Sean Pollock, I thought from this vantage point had a chance of getting to it, but so well did Healy strike the ball.
Healy hitting this one in front of square leg. Just a bit squarer than his favourite area, which is more to mid-wicket, and that's where South Africa had the fieldsman placed.
Adam Gilchrist, the young rookie, he's going to try and show the way. The thing about it is he's played so much cricket in recent times. He's played at this ground before with the Cricket Academy. It's not foreign to him. It's the way the game is these days.
Yes.
Beautifully in position, and that's 4 runs.
It hasn't got a lot of pace in it.
There's his trademark sweep shot. Healy, a little misfield. They'll get the extra. Just fumbling a little. Earlier on, we saw him pull off a magnificent save.
Dangerous ploy by Donald. He's got to be very specific.
Magnificent timing there. There's 2 men. They wouldn't be 10 metres apart. Split them. They look at each other, and it's 4 runs to Adam Gilchrist.
Wow, what a great shot this is. I don't know about 10 metres. They're about 5 metres, and they haven't moved. Well, it's gone in the air, but he's given himself every chance. He's really swung the bat hard. You can see he's got over the top of it.
He's gone this time, trying to run it down to third man. Healy's gone. Very important breakthrough.
And not a very good shot from Ian Healy. He just tried to run that down. It bounced on him a bit. New bowler, different speed, different length. And, well, it just got too close and too big on him. Ian Healy would have been much better just playing that straight down the wicket. But looking for the one-day shot, got him into trouble, and Dave Richardson took the catch.
So Australia 6 for 129. Well, Warne in a floppy hat. And that was the identical shot to that which Healy played. Warne that time not making contact. And again, the same type of stroke. So Warne really struggling early in the piece. And that extra bounce. And there he is. He plays that shot so well. I think of 2. Crooks picking up and throwing in one motion. Nearly a misunderstanding again. Adam Gilchrist was setting off by Warne. And that's Herschel Gibbs, of course.
Yeah, good thinking by Herschel Gibbs there. He summed up the situation, saw Gilchrist trying, and Warne had already said no. And he threw very quickly to the bowler's end. I think the pressure from the South African fielders has been very evident today.
6 for 136. 37 overs. It's Crooks to continue. He's going to be bowling to Shane Warne, who plays that customary sweep. Just one would wish that he would occasionally get his pad outside the line.
Just over the head of Cronje to mid-wicket and into the boundary. Very strong on the leg side is Gilchrist. He really is showing some young people how he can play. And this could be his 50. The young man could bring up his first half century in Australian colours here at Kingsmead, and he does just that. That crowd here and the opposition team, they know that he's a young man. He came over as a wicket-keeper to replace the suspended Ian Healy, and he's now showing his wares as a quality batsman.
Their man should be as president of the World Cricketing Body during that period.
Lovely shot by Shane Warne, just getting past backward point and going to the boundary. So a couple of boundaries in the last over, just trying to split this field up. Johnny Rhodes saying, I need some sunglasses. The sun's setting in his eyes.
So it's just a bit damp deep underneath, so it's coming off a bit slower.
And got him. Trying to whip it through mid-wicket. Eyes not quite over the ball. The full Yorker. A very good delivery from Bryson. A bit of extra pace is what beats Shane Warne. Just trying to turn it a bit square, perhaps, instead of looking to punch it wide of mid-on. Shane Warne is out bowled by Bryson for 12.
And Bryson, I think that was one of them. He went for the Yorker and went to really step up a gear, and it was quite a quick delivery. Caught Shane Warne by surprise, and a good Yorker at any stage is a difficult delivery. But Warne did a good job there, got a few more runs with Gilchrist. Australia are now 7 for 153.
.25 minutes putt. Well tied, and more importantly, very well placed. So a boundary to finish Cronje's over. 43 gone, 7 for 165. Nice stance of Gilchrist, nice and relaxed. And he can hit balls over mid-wicket for 6, Gilchrist, and that's what he's just done. You don't strike them any better or any more cleanly than that.
And really proving to be the backbone of the Australian innings now.
And that's where he can go. Just as predicted, the angled ball, the half volley on middle and leg stump goes out of the park. 45 overs gone, 7 for 186.
He's usually over in that corner.
Oh, a brilliant catch. Hansie Cronje. Gilchrist doing what he had to do. And just as Australia thought they may have been able to get up to the 220, which would have been extremely competitive, Hansie Cronje has taken a magnificent catch, diving full length to his right. And you see the end of Adam Gilchrist.
Yes, he's done the right thing, Adam Gilchrist. It was right in the slot. Perhaps tried to hit it just a little bit too hard and just managed to get it to Hansie Cronje. Took a good diving catch, never took his eyes off the ball, and the hands wrapped right in it. And Gilchrist getting a standing ovation. Australia 8 for 195. 5 grandstand.
Oh, that's out. Absolutely plumb. Trying to hit where the gap was. That was mid-wicket. And Andy Bickle walks straight in front. It does the job again.
Yes, Andy Bickle trying to score boundaries. Feels more comfortable whipping it away on the onside. Walked across his wickets, and Sean Pollock did the right thing right in the block hole. Just a very, very difficult ball to hit away, and, well, I don't think they come easier than that as an umpire. Right in front of the stumps.
So Australia now 9 for 198. And another delivery, of course. This is the 200. In the end, a pretty good fight back here by Australia. There's a bonus. There's a bonus over the top of the keeper's head. Australia, just what they needed. Adam Dale trying to swing it high and wide, top edging over the keeper's head. Oh, a big hit by Gillespie. And brilliant outfielding, just keeps it down to 2. That looked for all money a 4. He's just been too short. What'll happen here? Cheeky single. Australia end up with a reasonably respectable 211. At the end of 50 overs, Australia 9 for 211.
So the big question is 211 runs enough for Australia to protect in this match. 2 run-outs in the first 20 overs. Just 1 run off 33 balls with Law and Steve Waugh put enormous pressure on the Australians, but Greg Blewett a valuable 53. Then a superb knock from Adam Gilchrist, 77 off 88 balls, figuring in 2 vital partnerships with Ian Healy and Andy Bickle, seeing Australia through to 9 for 211. Sean Pollock, a fine spell of 4 for 33 with good support from Bryson and Donald, supported by some fine fielding and great catching by the South Africans. So 212 runs for victory as we join our commentators David Hooks and Barry Richards.
The first ball of South Africa's innings, chasing 212 for victory. And immediately South Africa gets off the mark. And Australia starting with no fine leg on the fence, just Michael Bevan inside the circle. Jason Gillespie out at square leg.
Getting up.
And through. The Australians will appeal, but the umpire won't support it. In the air, Gully out. So a wicket to complete the first over. Steve Waugh taking a very well-judged catch at backward Gully. And Australia get the first wicket. Adam Dale again getting the breakthrough. 6 balls into the game. And a wicket for the Australians. And South Africa 1 for 1.
And very good bowling from Adam Dale. He'd hardly made one swing away at all, and that one has left Herschel Gibbs looking to get off the mark, and all he's done is he's hit it well off the middle of the bat, but really stretching for it. And Stephen Waugh doesn't make mistakes with those.
South Africa at the end of the first over 1 for 1. Gets over the ball and smashes it to the cover for point fence. That's what Gibbs should have done the previous over, get over the top of the ball and punch it into the ground hard. In the air and down. Gilchrist at first slip. Puts a waist-high chance down. Normally a wicket keeper, but normally very good in the infield as well, coming off 77 runs.
Great bowling this by Adam Dale. Just got it to bounce a little bit, and Daryl Cullinan looking to play that one through down to the third man area has got it straight to Adam Gilchrist. Of course, used to having gloves on. Perhaps he needed them there. He seemed to get in a very good position. Perhaps just took it a little bit too easy and it's popped out.
And short, just past the outside edge. Cullinan tempted to play and try to withdraw at the last moment. And smash that away. You don't see any balls hit harder or more in the middle of the bat than that to end the over. South Africa 1 for 21.
And the injured hand of Mark Waugh. This is dangerous. And this time through mid-wicket, and this is well timed by Daryl Cullinan. Quite a long boundary there. I think the fielder just gets it. And there'll be 3. They're going to run, and this could be very dangerous if there's a hit. What is umpire Diedrich's going to do? He's not going to call for the third umpire. He feels that the batsman made it. A direct hit might have been a different story.
It's a quick delivery, cutting back, struck the thigh guard, and a bit of hesitation there. Gillespie worked it out. He had to take evasive action. It was well picked up by Bickle. The batsman safely in.
Very good dive this by Adam Bacher to make his ground. It was again. Well, there's no doubt he would have been gone if there'd have been a hit there by Waugh. There wasn't. Dear, dear.
Steve Waugh, and he was miles out. Didn't miss by much either.
Well, they've had a little tete-a-tete now, the two batsmen. Oh, and that might have been a brilliant, brilliant catch by Michael Bevan. All sorts of things are going on.
It was a short ball, it got pulled, and Michael Bevan actually got a hand to it. It was on the way to the fence for 4, but in the air, going past that very dangerous position, fine leg inside the circle. You can see here what would have happened.
Oh, he's dropped him. Well, that's the second one that Gilchrist has put down at slip, and they've both been regulation slip catches. Oh, Carl, he ain't got his gloves on.
Well, I don't know what you would expect of a wicket-keeper suddenly fielding at first slip without the gloves. Obviously, it's a totally different experience. But you would tend to expect he'd have good catching instincts, he'd have soft hands, and Adam Gilchrist now dropped 2 catches at first slip.
And now he goes over the top and gets 4 runs as he backed away, gave himself the room. And Australian style, it's 1 for 35. In the air, but safe, and 4. Between Waugh in a square gully position and a backward point. There's not much of a gap there, but he got it through.
So Gillespie's continuing. And misfield by Dale at fine leg. Just unfortunate. Attacked the ball. Tried the leg break then. And put away. Good piece of fielding. Good chase by Stuart Law. Adam Gilchrist, I'm sorry.
And close to bowling him around his legs, but with the lack of turn, the ball going straight on the umpire, calling a wide. Well, that is a pretty tough decision for a leg spinner. The law for a leg side wide is pitching outside the line of leg stump and going further away. And the umpire showing no regard for leg spin bowling.
Yeah, this is a tough, very, very tough call. In fact, that's almost bowled him. Well, you don't like to call it against the umpires, but that is a very tough call for Shane Warne.
Nicely placed, and they'll look for 2, in fact, but Gillespie did well to run across very quickly from mid-on. He had some support in the end by Andy Bickle, but he had to do the work himself initially. Run some 40 or 50 metres.
Just a slower ball from Stuart Law. But they're having no difficulty in picking him off at 5 runs and over, and take that to the logical conclusion. It's 10 overs for 50. Well, South Africa will win the game comfortably.
And Gillespie now misfields. Fell over the ball. They'll get 2. And another example of if you were on the fence, it was just a single. If he was up, they may well not have scored. A risk here for the South African batsman, but well fielded.
Yes, and a difficulty for Shane Warne, because for him to bowl particularly well and to try and get the wickets is inevitably his must-do. He needs pressure from the other end, and what's happening is just being 6 runs picked off at the other end, which makes the difficult task for him as well.
And in the air, so got him. So Cullinan trying to step aside, hit inside out, perhaps outsmarted himself. A low chance to Warne, who took it comfortably in the end. So Australia gets the 2nd wicket, and Shane Warne gets Daryl Cullinan caught and bowled for 38 from 74 deliveries with 2 boundaries.
Yes, and good bowling by Shane Warne. Not an easy wicket to bowl, and Cullinan looking to try and give himself a bit of room. Not a particularly elegant shot, and Warne takes a very sharp catch. Cullinan looking to back away and hit it through the covers. Got too close to it in the end and scooped the ball back to Warne.
South Africa at the 25th over, 2 for 81. Nice and full and hit towards mid-on. Chance for a run out, but the batsmen are through comfortably. Andy Bickle not able to retain his footing. Ball going to his left-hand side. It was a pretty difficult one to field and to get rid of quickly.
And a good shot by Adam Bacher. You can see the hands going straight through and set off straight away for the run. He knew there was a run there. And that's been a feature, I think. Not often the Australians get outfielded and outrun between the wickets. They've always been very well known for their running between the wickets. Very reminiscent of Graham Gooch. The sort of technique that's fashioned out. He's half as successful. He'll be very happy with that. But he does lift the bat before the bowler bowls.
Man at backward point won't be able to stop it. But there is a man at deep point on the fence in Michael Di Venuto. He does the mopping up.
Which gave him 2 instead of just the 1.
And an appeal, and he's given him out. So Adam Barker, in attempting to play the sweep shot to a ball pitched very full and on the stumps, misses it, and the umpire says to Shane Warne that is out, and Shane Warne gets his 2nd wicket, Australia's 3rd, and slowly, ever so slowly, the pressure on the South Africans mount.
Yes, very good bowling from Shane Warne. We'll see here, it's just a little quicker and a little footer, and Adam Bacher trying to sweep it just too full. It's hit him very low on the pad, even though he was a fair way forward. Very low on the pad, that would never have bounced over. So Shane Warne gets another breakthrough, and the match is not over yet.
South Africa, Adam Barker out for 45, LBW to Warne, 3 for 88. And you'll find that shot played a bit as well. To the applause of the crowd, Rhodes gets off the mark with a sweep. 6 men inside the circle for Rhodes, and with Callis coming on strike, the man at mid-off goes out of the circle.
Yes, and there's the Jonty Rhodes sweep. In fact, I think the Australians have conceded that he'd get a 1 because invariably he gets it pretty fine.
Gillespie to Rhodes, and bowled him. So the perfect Yorker, and the pressure that has built up on the South Africans because they weren't scoring freely has suddenly turned the pendulum and swung the pendulum to Australia's way. A good bowling change by Ian Hilly. He brought Gillespie back on last over. A wicket fell to Warne at the other end, and now a wicket to Gillespie.
And just a little bit of swing here, the ball going the other way, and Jonty Rhodes getting in all sorts of trouble, just not picking it. Very good ball.